to the Wrestling Nerds Alliance podcast, featuring Robb English, Clifford L. Johnson, and Ed Roland. Thank you for joining us.
Well, you know what? There's not going to be any shooting tonight. I'm not gonna call Ed a guy who likes to bury young talent. I'm not gonna tell Cliff he's bringing his big shovel.
Big golden shovel.
Big golden shovel.
Are you a shark, Rob?
Am I a shark?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm a shark.
Why not?
Although you guys did used to call me Shark Boy back in the day. You remember that?
Yeah, it's because you had that hairstyle.
The hair. Fucking, I miss my hair.
Yeah.
Didn't you have it like frosted in the front for a little while too? Yeah.
I had fucking frosted tips for a while there.
Looking like a fucking Backstreet Boy. Thug Backstreet Boy.
It all just started to fall out. Just got to go with it. Shave that shit off. Don't rock the Baron Corbin.
Skullets are for no one.
Don't do the Aiden English.
Yeah, I'm glad you
take that shit off.
I'm glad you understood what was happening and you immediately went ahead and took care of that.
Embraced
the baldness.
I appreciate that.
I would have if I had to, but I don't.
And you know what? I'll be honest. I quite enjoy being bald now. There's still moments where I look at somebody's hair and I'm like, God, I wish I had that hair. But you know what? It makes getting ready in the morning a whole hell of a lot easier.
That is true. Last time I cut my hair, I was like, oh my God, it's so much faster to wash my hair.
Just a quick, simple done.
How long does it take you to shave, though?
Well, you see, I don't always take the razor to the head.
Mm-hmm.
I generally will bring out the trimmers. Like, I probably could use a trim right now. I try to keep it like as
short as possible.
Short, like right down to the wood, basically.
Gotcha.
But when I know we're going somewhere special or something like that, I'll bust out the razor and just take it all off.
Get it good and shiny.
Gotcha.
Yeah, nice and smooth. Right. Anyways, I'm Robb English.
I'm Ed Roland, and we're
L. Johnson. Oh wait, I thought I was Rex Too Good.
That was last week. We're moving back on to
we can't be those guys anymore.
No,
all right.
And we are the Wrestling Nerds Alliance.
The moment passed.
Moment is past.
All right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I suppose I should change my Twitter handle back then.
No, you need to keep that. Because if anybody gets to keep that name permanently, it's you.
It's a beautiful name.
Man Dude Camelot is the truth.
Perfect.
It is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of amazing, everybody's talking about that promo on Raw, man.
It wasn't bad.
It was, okay. I loved that segment. That segment was awesome. Because who doesn't love a good worked shoot
good old
promo?
Shoot.
You know,
shooting straight from the hip.
The Vince Russo school of WCW, the work shoots. A lot of shit was said in that promo. You know, as we alluded to, Roman brought up the golden shovel of John Cena, the big old shovel.
But what are you really gonna do, John? What are you gonna do, huh? You're gonna jump off that bus with that big ass shovel. That big shovel. That's what you're gonna do, and you're gonna bury as much young talent as you can.
Although when I first heard him say it, I thought he said shuffle.
Yeah, I was like, this golden shower? What's going on? What did he say?
What? It's like, what is he talking about the 5-knuckle shuffle for? I don't get it. Shuffle? Shuffle? What's you shuffle? I don't see Cena shuffle. Only in the ring. But no, I was like, oh, shovel. Oh, burying guys. Got it.
Yeah,
with you
right.
now, Roman.
Oh, I get it.
Enunciate, Roman.
Yeah. But a lot of shit was said in that promo. A lot of walls broken in that promo.
Fourth wall. I think John Cena thinks he's
Goodbye, fourth
Deadpool.
wall.
Right.
I know, right?
They boo you because, first of all, you suck.
Hey, according to them, so does he, but that's okay. He won a gold medal.
Just shut up for a while. How about that? And second of all,
go ahead, find it. Go ahead. Oh, wait. It's called a promo,
Shut
kid,
your
and
mouth,
if you want to
John.
be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it, so go ahead. See ya, fourth wall.
But apparently it was not as shoot as everybody likes to believe.
Well, Of of course, course not.
A lot of things were planned out ahead of time, bullet points written, and it makes a lot of sense now when you realize that that one point when Roman
The acting was phenomenal.
froze,
I'm supposed to remember my line.
what made it even worse is when he did it, he looked down like,
Do you have it written on the inside of your hand?
what's my next line?
Cena burned him real hard over it, too.
Oh, and Cena ripped him a new one.
So do you think that part of it was planned as well? The stumble?
No,
No, the stumble.
absolutely
definitely
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Cena, like a fucking Jedi, jumped in and cut him with that mic saber and was like, it's a promo, son.
You got to learn how to cut them.
Yeah. That was pretty fucked up.
So, okay, Ed,
Yo.
I'm gonna get both of your feeling on this before I explain mine. What was your thought of the segment? I'm hoping you don't steal my thunder.
It was all right. I was excited because they were saying things that we had been thinking and or saying to each other for years. Okay.
I don't know if anyone's ever told you this. They go back and forth with you because when they look at you, they see what I see. A cheap-ass, corporately created John Cena bootleg.
The reason why they boo you is because they see right through you. You're a phony. You're a yes man who can learn how to do anything or be anything. So if you wrap all that up, you're just a fake bitch.
And or the last 6 months in Roman's case, but
It's a promo, Ed.
I feel like it could have been better somehow, and I don't exactly know how to explain that feeling. You know what I mean? Maybe it's
So-
because it was scripted, like you said,
Okay.
and not actually a shoot. It's not a shoot unless someone's mic gets cut, by the way. That's how you know.
True.
There you go. There you go. Cliff, what did you think?
I thought the segment in itself was good. I'm actually not. I don't really care about the whole shoot work portion of it because it's wrestling. This is what we.
Yeah.
This is what we came to watch. So whether or not it was like the same type of promo that Miz cut the week before, you know what I'm saying? That was a work shoot. You know, I'm pretty sure he said a lot of shit that he felt, but I'm pretty sure that it was approved before he went out there. You know? So, I'm cool with it. I don't really have an issue with it.
Okay.
So what do you got to say about it then, Rob?
Yeah. Shit on us, Rob. Go ahead.
That's what I do. All right. So when it was going on, I was really torn. I liked the segment because some of the stuff that was being said were just great digs at each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I hated the segment at the same time because the worked shoot, while fun to listen to, also kind of makes you take a step back and go, what the fuck am I watching right now? Because you want me to believe what's happening is real, but at the same time you're going, hey, this is real. That stuff, that's not. But also from the point of view of, all right, if you're building up a match, let alone not just a match, but you're trying to build these characters into something. Cena doesn't need to be built because he's got, almost 15 years of work behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But they're trying to make Roman the guy. Okay, well, if you're trying to make him the guy, why would you have Cena fucking eat his lunch in front of everybody?
Because
Let alone eat his lunch and then, kind of bury the guy in, a shoot promo. How does that help Roman?
it doesn't help him this week. But next week when Roman comes back, it's the same shit they did with Punk and Rock. It's good. They're repeating the same formula. It's like basically they're taking Punk and Rock and Cena Rock and they're smashing it together. So now Roman is John Cena.
Roman is Cena.
And you know, and Cena is The Rock. And also Cena is himself. And Punk is Roman. It's like the same shit.
When did Punk come in?
The Punk and The Rock, when Punk was talking about him having the shit written on his, you know, on his wrist. You know what I mean? You don't remember that?
Cena said that to Rock.
That was Cena or that was Punk? That was Punk, dude.
That was Cena.
Dude, that was Punk.
John
that was
Cena.
CM Punk.
Look it up.
When they were
that's going to get clipped in.
When they were doing the boots to asses and knees to faces?
Correct. That no. Knees to faces was something completely separate. The having words written on their hand was Cena to Rock.
Dwayne Johnson is a self-centered, egotistical, see-through son of a bitch that wouldn't give a rat's ass if this company closed its doors tomorrow. Now, I'll tell you something, Jack. I don't need words like respect and loyalty to Trent Worldwide, just like I don't need my notes for my promo on my wrist.
Look it up.
Damn it.
We'll kill time while you do it. When I'm right, I want you to say Robb is the greatest.
Robb can S a D.
I mean, I get all that. You're building interest for the match.
All right, yeah, you're right.
But,
Fuck you.
All right, so there you go. When this is all over, though, and Cena
is gone,
is a part-timer,
yeah,
and Roman is left behind, you still got the stink of fucking, I'm still here because you haven't been doing your job.
Oh, well, see, John Cena can't help but bury guys. He's just so much better than everyone else. Everyone looks terrible in comparison. He can't help being the best in the world, ever.
Okay, but Cena also shit on this level on The Miz leading into Mania. Miz has been cutting absolutely amazing promos, but that was a stink that Miz hasn't been able to rub off yet.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's not John's fault.
It's not John's fault.
I can't even do it.
You were trying to be serious when you said that, but you were laughing too hard because you know that you're lying. But no, like I said, I like the segment. I know what they're doing, but I still was kind of like, it just feels like late 2000s WCW right now with all the fucking shit that they pulled.
It's like when you're banging a girl and she just like keeps looking at her watch, waiting for you to come. Like it, you know, it's like
I don't know
you
the
just
feeling.
might as well be met.
I was gonna say that's never happened to me.
I take a long time sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of long time, thanks for that segue. I appreciate it. Do we feel like they're kind of rushing into some of these matches right now?
For sure.
Cena Reigns, Brock Braun.
What's build up?
Well,
I don't know.
Brock and Braun, I'm okay with because Brock and Braun isn't like it's not a dream match for me.
It could be,
yeah,
though.
but you know, meh. I'm okay with it. I mean, it was supposed to be, wasn't it supposed to be Brock and Braun months ago?
I get that, but I'm talking like with what happened at SummerSlam, with how Braun just destroyed Brock.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't really get a resolution to those two.
Right.
You could hold these guys off from each other a little while longer. You know?
Have them feud with other people and just kind of like clash every now and again on the edge.
Build it to Survivor Series. Build it to Rumble. As far as I'm concerned, build it to Mania. I don't want to see Reigns, Brock, Part 4. I'd rather see Braun versus Brock at Mania. And put Reigns with somebody else. As far as I'm concerned, you could have waited on this Reigns-Cena match and built
that definitely could have been a Mania. They could have built that like they built Rock and Cena.
If you want to keep having these sparring matches on the mic, and have them just come close to getting into it. Maybe a little brawl here and there where they get separated, and just keep holding it off. Let Cena go do another movie or cartoon or whatever he's doing. Come back. Be the elephant in the pistachio commercials for a little while longer, and come back. And hold this off till Mania. I'm fine with that. But you're rushing right into Reigns, Cena, and Brock Braun at No Mercy. And it just feels...
There's no patience.
No. Now, I mean, there's a lot of talk that this kind of was a bit forced because of certain things that have happened. Like Samoa Joe is currently injured. He injured his knee.
Oh, no.
They're saying he could be out about 4 to 6 weeks.
Wait, this is real? This happened?
Yep. Happened at the house show over this past weekend.
But why?
Yeah, I know. Same weekend that Xavier Woods hurt his knee at a house show. They're saying he could be out for a while.
This is some bullshit.
Yeah. But I mean, you're also talking, you know, it's obvious they're moving into this Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon feud. There's talk that that match is going to blow off at Hell in the Cell in Detroit. There's even talk of maybe extending it to where your 5-on-5 Survivor Series matches for SmackDown are going to be Team Shane versus Team KO.
Isn't that what I said?
There you did. You said that last week.
Ed got it right.
Hey!
There we go.
Broken clock's right twice a day.
Hashtag Ed got it right. I just feel like you could hold these off. I don't know why we're rushing into this right now. And I know I sound like a whiny bitch, but I'm just... Thank you.
There's so many more exciting storylines waiting in the wings for them to do.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know,
for all the talent that they don't have any TV time for.
You mean like
Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Fuck,
oh
no
my
apparent reason.
God.
fuck that.
Can we get Randy Orton hurt?
Wow.
Damn.
Can we get him
Wow.
off TV for a little while?
Although I have said those words once before. It was, it was before the Wyatt family.
Mm-hmm.
And he had just come back and he was already pissing me off, as he often does. And I was like, can he just blow his shoulder out one more time?
That's terrible.
And I immediately felt bad afterwards because I'm like, that was a shitty thing to say.
You don't want to wish harm on another human being.
And did you notice anything different about your soul after that?
What soul?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I done sold that a long time ago.
Come on.
What'd you sell it for?
That's a good question, because I really don't.
I didn't sell it for hair.
Perfect children? I don't know.
Your kids are pretty awesome.
They're pretty awesome.
They are. They're like the perfect white children. They're not going to have any problems growing up.
I could be a Nazi so easy.
You did have beautiful Aryan children.
I know, right?
How did you produce such beautiful Aryan babies?
I've got a lot of, Scottish features, and Christina's got a lot of Norwegian features, so between the two of us, it's like perfect white people.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah. Just the nice...
Not counting that... What?
I said just the right shade of white.
I actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. The other day, I found out, I've always wanted to know, I've never really truly known where my family background comes from. Obviously, the last name English, you would think.
English, right.
There you go. That's on my dad's side, obviously.
Uh-huh.
I knew on my mother's side there was some Scottish there. But Scottish, Irish, what I wanted to bring up, because I wanted Cliff to know.
You better not say you're black.
I am 1% African. So we're brothers, Cliff.
I mean,
good for you, Rob.
If you go by the theory of creation, everybody's 1% African, at least.
Everybody is. But no, the majority of my family, like they show it on a map, comes from Ireland, Wales, Scotland, all that stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to find it so I can say. Apparently, there's a little bit of Portuguese and Spanish, but where is it? North African.
Nice.
1% North African.
Look at him, the closest
There you
part
go,
to
buddy.
Europe.
There you go. Somebody, took a boat down there and did some shit.
Many
and came
generations back.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Did you feel your dick grow a little bit?
I mean, it did, but you wouldn't notice. So,
Well, it's like a moral victory.
As we were saying before we started recording,
It's
penis
just not
is small,
It's because you're so tall. If you were a
That's it.
shorter dude,
and I have giant balls.
right?
It's proportions, man. It's proportions.
Tall with giant balls. So
Like I'm sure if
feel
I was
like my
taller,
dick-
mine would look right.
I
But
feel like my dick should be bigger. But then again, I don't think any man is ever truly happy. Well, unless you're Clifford L. Johnson, truly happy with the size.
I could eclipse my belly
I
button.
plead the fifth.
I mean, if there was any justice flaccid, I'd be dropping to my knees. But that just wasn't in the cards. Thank you, Jesus.
I could have swore this was a show about wrestling.
It is, but we're talking about my dick right now. Nobody's listening. Come on.
We got 50. Well, more than that.
We
now.
have way more than that.
Yeah.
We have way more than that. But still.
That's funny.
Hopefully we get more, but if any new listeners are listening right now and they hear
Right. If
this,
this
Maybe
is your
not.
first time, we don't always talk about our dicks. However, the last 2 weeks
does
we
come
have.
up.
thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. And speaking of, I think I eclipsed my record from the week before.
And how is that?
It went further.
Oh, wait, okay. We did get some
The vegan
feedback on
erections,
this.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
The powerful vegan erection from last
Bro.
week.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
If you were already on Rock, what were you on? Diamond
it
this
had
week?
to be. It was insane.
Crystal is just like begging you to leave her alone.
No, she's not.
Baby. See what's going on here?
Yeah,
What we gonna do
it was
about this?
Quite the journey.
Climb that
She
mountaintop.
had to matrix it.
Wait, during or after?
Well, right as it, when it
Yeah.
happened. Yeah,
It was like a howitzer going on.
yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't even think it could go that far.
There was recoil.
Okay,
Back
back
to wrestling.
For all those that
Oh,
are
man.
still here,
And if you are, what the fuck is
what's
wrong with you? Speaking of what's wrong with you, let's talk about this sexy star Rosemary situation.
Yeah, what the hell is going on with that?
Okay. So, sexy star, dating back to when she first started in wrestling, she was beat up by dudes. She was bullied. She was picked on because, obviously in Mexico especially, women wrestlers are just not. They're there, but you're not a real wrestler.
Right.
She busted her ass to become probably one of the most well-known female luchadors in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
But with her rise also came some ego.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? She left. She was the Reina de Reinas champion,
Okay.
AAA, which is their equivalent of female champion. She left the company, was stripped of the belt, something along those lines. Belt bounced around a little bit. It went to Taya Valkyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Taya was the champion, and then there was a little shit that went down probably a month or so ago where Vampiro is now in charge of AAA,
Right.
asked her fiance, John Morrison, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Impact now, Global Force,
Good for him.
to bring the belt. We're going to do some photo shoots with it. He did. Vampiro then stripped Taya of the championship for no reason. Just basically made up some convoluted story about her using an illegal choke or something like that in a no DQ match.
What?
It was a bullshit excuse. Stripped the belt off of her because it was being given back to the returning
Sexy Star.
Now, the match in question happened at Triple Mania. I believe it was a 4-way. I apologize that I cannot remember everybody in the match, but there's 3 key players that I do recall. Lady Shani, Sexy Star, and Rosemary from Global Force Wrestling.
And Ayako Hamada.
Oh, Hamada. Thank you.
Good job, Cliff.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Ayako Hamada can take care of herself.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Shani and Sexy Star had a little bit of an issue with each other. They do not like each other. I don't know if maybe there was some shots taken during the match or what, but Sexy felt a bit threatened, so to speak. Well, she wasn't going to take it out on Hamada because Hamada would have whipped her ass.
Of course.
She wasn't going to take it out on Shani because she's probably afraid of her. She opted to take it out on, I won't say the defenseless one, but the one who probably doesn't have a whole lot involved in this little feud behind the scenes. The end of the match, Sexy Star put Rosemary in a cross armbar. Rosemary tapped. Did you see the video?
Oh, yes, I did.
She tapped.
Uh-huh.
And Star kept pulling on it.
And pulling
on it.
And pulling.
The ref finally stopped the match. Rosemary pulls her arm back, and Sexy Star jumps to her feet
Grabs
and
it and
snaps
snaps it
that
back
arm
in.
back. And just keeps tugging and tugging and pulling and pulling and pulling. Popped her elbow.
Yep.
There was some discoloration, some swelling, some bruising. Rosemary has since come out and said that there is a strain to her biceps and her triceps muscles.
Shit.
There was concern in the beginning that she might have torn her triceps.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after the match, Sexy Star was making excuses. Lady Shani was trying to kick the shit out of her backstage. Vampiro, realizing what happened, is trying to get Sexy Star to explain herself. She's making up excuses.
Apologize, at least.
She's saying that Rosemary shot on her first
Yeah.
in the match. Not true.
Nope.
Vampiro forces Sexy Star to apologize to Rosemary. And during the apology, from what I've gathered, Rosemary saying that she really wasn't apologizing. She was just kind of making excuses for why she did it.
I'm sorry, you fucked up.
Right.
This has
Sorry
since
you were
blown up.
so terrible at taking a armbar.
Right. You know, you should have just sat there and let me break your arm.
Right.
Don't fight it. Since then, this has kind of blown up into a international story because there's even been things written about it in the New York Post.
Mm-hmm.
They were quoting Mike Johnson from PW Insider, you know, in the Post about this story. Other wrestlers have come out on Twitter and are just, she'll never work here. You know,
Yep.
This is not how, you know, we treat each other, you know, things of that nature. Yeah, it's just kind of blown up into this big story. I kind of already have an idea of what we're all going to say here, but the floor is yours, Ed. What are you thinking when you see that? I mean, this isn't the first time somebody has shot on someone in the ring, but, you know, in the modern era where everything gets caught on video, this is probably one of the first times that everybody's seen it and went, wow, that's fucked up.
Right. Because it comes off to the audience as if there was zero provocation on Rosemary's part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen enough wrestling documentaries to know that when you get in the ring with someone, you're trusting them to take care of you, and they have to trust you to take care of them. And Rosemary did that, and Sexy Star betrayed that trust. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, she shouldn't work anywhere ever again, in my opinion.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Cliff?
I'm on your side with that. I do feel like this is the thing with the whole.
And you have been a big Sexy Star fan.
Yeah, I mean, I like Sexy Star. I thought I
mean,
actually
when
do watch Lucha Underground, and I was excited that she won their title, and it was a cool thing. But now, maybe she felt like, I can win a man's quote unquote man's championship, or she got too big for her britches, or what. But either way, like, we all love wrestling. You know what I mean? So like when you even thought about what Brock did to Randy Orton, last year, or what was it, the beginning of this year? Like, that was something that we were like...
It was SummerSlam last year.
It was last year. So that was, that was like, people were flipping out, and I heard stories about, Jericho confronting him, backstage, because everybody thought it was a shoot, and, that type of shit is frowned upon, and it should be, because like Ed said, you are trusting the other person. That your moves are really only predicated on how someone sells them, and you're in there as a team, So if she did go into business for herself and actually cause injury to somebody, first of all, she need her ass beat in real life.
Yeah.
Somebody need to put hands on her.
Put her in there with Asuka.
No.
Oh, that would be nice.
I'm not even talking about no match. I'm talking about somebody need to holler at her in the back and get them hands put on her. I'm serious. Because that's just bullshit. So I would assume that there's going to be a receipt coming from whoever she faces next. And if they don't give her a receipt, then they ain't shit neither.
Right.
Yeah.
So whether it's a mixed tag or it's a whatever it is, somebody need to go ahead and let her know that shit ain't cool.
I mean, sadly, she's going to find work in Mexico.
Of course.
Yeah.
But
she's a megastar in Mexico.
Right. Her coming north of the border now, I think, is done.
Yeah.
I don't see... I mean, there's been numerous companies that have said she's not going to work there. She was booked for, I believe it's WrestleCade coming up, I want to say in North Carolina. They, very classy actually in how they handled it, kind of just put out a press release and said, there's no place for this. Unfortunately, due to this, we cannot, in good conscience, keep the booking with Sexy Star. She, will not be working here. Anybody that wants a refund, please let us know. But it's kind of sad that that's the case, because obviously we have the Mae Young Classic going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it's already happened, but this could lead to more opportunities for women's wrestling. Shine is picking up steam. Shimmer obviously already kind of has the market cornered, at least in the U.S., for women's wrestling.
Shout out to Shimmer for following us all on Twitter, by the way.
Yes, Shimmer gave us all a follow, all three of us and the show.
Appreciate that.
Shimmer Wrestling. There you go. In Japan, women's wrestling has always been a big thing there.
Yep.
She could have gotten more international work out of this and probably made some pretty good paydays.
Yep.
I don't know necessarily that she'll have the same issues in Japan. I would assume so. In the UK, which is probably one of the biggest hotbeds in wrestling right now, I would assume she'd have the same issues there, to where they're not going to want to book her. But, I don't know. It's just kind of...
Is there a chance that someone would look at this situation and go, Americans are pussies. You can come work here, and the audience will come drawn based on the fact that, we might get to see a woman break another woman's arm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna the same way you're saying people are being classy and taking her off cards. There's definitely gonna be some people who are gonna use this as an opportunity to get some more asses in the seats.
Because I want the baddest bitch I can.
Yeah, I mean this could go, two ways, of course, because they say all publicity is good publicity. So if this is something that you said, who picked it up? USA Today or
New York Post?
New York Post.
So I'm sure that half the country who didn't know who the fuck a Sexy Star was is probably going to be like, who's this badass bitch out here breaking people's arms? It might work.
Shout out to, and I apologize if I'm butchering your name, buddy, follower of ours, listener to the show, Kevin Mejia, at Kevin Mejia, at Kevin capital MEJIA01 on Twitter, who wanted us to talk about this today.
Okay.
We already planned on it, but I want to give the guy a shout out because, he was definitely somebody that brought it up and was like, hey, talk about this.
Will do.
So if I butchered your name, please let me know.
It's Mejia. Watch.
It's probably Mejia, and I just...
Mejia.
Mejia.
Jaya.
We're talking about Mexico, so I think the J's got to be silent.
Right.
But if I did butcher it, please let me know, and I will absolutely apologize next week on the show. Going from one women's wrestling situation to another one that is rumored right now. Supposedly, not to get into, allegedly, not to get into spoiler territory on the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
However, during the next few episodes that are going to be uploaded to the WWE Network, apparently there might be a little bit of a face-off between the 4 horsewomen of WWE, Bayley, Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte, and the 4 horsewomen of MMA, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Jessamyn Duke, and Marina Shafir.
Really?
Yes. Now, the reason why supposedly this is happening is...
Survivor Series.
There you go. There's rumored to be a 4-on-4 match in the works.
Which would be the absolute best thing for Ronda Rousey's career right now.
Correct. There's talk that she has been training in secret at the Performance Center and elsewhere. Shayna Baszler is in the Mae Young Classic tournament. Looked like a beast.
Yeah, she did.
Already has a presence on the indie circuit. Jessamyn Duke, there is talk that she absolutely has been training with Brian Kendrick. Supposedly that's who also Ronda Rousey has been training with. And Marina Shafir is the fiance, of Roderick Strong. So I wonder who's going to be training her.
Seen a couple backbreakers out of her,
There
probably.
you go. Now, like you said, Survivor Series, me personally, fucking hold that off till Mania. Build it.
But then you can't make it a team match. There's no
You
point in having
absolutely
4.
can make it a team match.
Still do it, but
I know.
it makes more sense at Survivor Series.
Becky doesn't need to be in the title picture at Mania. Have her join the team with the other 3. Her and Charlotte join the team with the other 2 on Raw. Cross-promotional match against these rebels. These outsiders.
Maybe that's why they took the belt off Sasha.
No.
And can we talk about how fucking terrible that is?
I didn't think we were going to shit on wrestling anymore.
We were trying. We really went positive for like
and
a
I'm
good
still trying to keep
3
it there.
episodes.
Yeah.
But when stuff pisses you off, you just gotta call it.
It doesn't make any sense for them to take the belt off Sasha.
It's total bullshit.
But
Is there anybody who does think it's a good idea? Has anyone
Vince
ever...
McMahon,
the
apparently.
Alexa, Alexa Bliss super fans. I love Alexa.
I mean, if it keeps Nia
but-
Jax on TV, I'm cool with that. But
Yeah.
just let Nia destroy her little ass.
Clifford L. loves some Nia
I
Jax.
do, man. Big old, tall, thick boy.
Yep.
She's
It
not
is
like
exciting
most
to watch her
girls.
toss that little white girl all over the ring.
Man, isn't it though?
I don't know what it is.
Fuck white people. Fucking hate white people.
Hey, hold on now. You talking about my left half now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I forgot about that. I can say this. I'm 1% North African.
If you start using that shit as an excuse, I'm gonna pop you in the mouth one good.
I'm not dropping N-bombs. I'm just saying. I feel oppressed.
Retarded.
But there's also talk that maybe they're holding off Ronda Rousey for a match with Stephanie McMahon
Because of that bullshit from WrestleMania.
because of that bullshit from Mania
5
a couple
years
years
ago.
ago.
That's stupid.
Well, because Stephanie's the biggest name.
Oh, there's your Mania match then, is Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon.
No. If you're not going to do this, do this 4 Horsewomen match at Survivor Series.
Uh-huh.
Give me Stephanie, Ronda at Rumble. Give me fucking Ronda versus Charlotte at Mania.
I would like that.
You're making an assumption that Ronda's good.
How can she not
How
be?
could she not be? Yeah.
Okay,
Think of-
Dan Severn was a beast,
And he was a good wrestler.
He just had a...
but he didn't work.
Dan
Well,
Severn
okay,
was still
but
a beast, though, in the ring.
Yeah.
But he just... His gimmick was that he was Dan Severn. I think there's...
And he had the personality of white
Yeah.
paint.
Ronda actually
Okay.
has charisma, and she would be able to adapt to the style of WWE for sure.
And
I hope
she's
so.
Already a megastar.
I really do hope so for her sake. I mean, if The Miz can do it, she can
And
do it,
she's
right?
Sexy.
Exactly.
Ronda Rousey is sexy.
Not going to get any disagreement over here.
And
Sorry, that-
and
I
I
just had
and
to
I
say that.
second that emotion.
There you go.
Love women of all shapes and sizes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tall and thick, like Naya.
Do we want to give a shout out to our WCW of the day?
Oh, yeah, we probably
Speaking
should.
of pretty women,
Gorgeous woman. And an amazing wrestling fan. If you follow her Twitter, that's all she's talking
she's
about.
all over it, and she's not as
She's all-
not as nasty as
Oh,
As graphic?
Kim got nasty. I was reading her tweets on Monday.
Oh.
I'm like, my God, Kim, settle down.
She should just be
Licking bootios.
She said something about New Day. Yeah, SmackDown. They can pour their bootios down my throat if they'll let me put my bootio in their mouth. I was like, my goodness, Kim. There's no mystery with you. It's all out on Front Street.
Oh man,
But Chelsea's British. She's got class. That's why. That's the difference.
Yes, Chelsea.
she's
Chelsea-
She's from across the pond.
At Chelsea Carla X on Twitter is our WCW of the day. If you follow her Twitter, you'll see a lot of awesome wrestling tweets. She does not suffer fools lightly. She will cut you in half if you cross
Real
her,
quick.
which I love about her. Which is why she was our crush of the day. She fucking follows New Japan religiously. Okay? How do you not love that? It's not just WWE with her. She's following New Japan. I would assume living in the UK, she's following the scene over there. And then, I'm sorry, the pictures, she's drop dead gorgeous. Just, and I'm a sucker for an accent. And I just imagine when I read her Twitter that I'm hearing that.
Oh, yeah. It's in her voice.
Son of a bitch. I made the comment last week, is love possible with a British woman if you don't like tea? I hope so.
She said something about, like, yeah.
She said hot chocolate greater than tea.
That's right. Yeah.
And
Which, hey.
that's what they used to call me. It's crazy. Wow.
No, we called you caramel mandingo.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm a little,
I was white
a little
chocolate.
bit lighter than chocolate.
Dude, I didn't watch Django until recently, and I was not up on all that lingo.
You didn't know what?
I had no idea what a mandingo
Now
was.
you know what a mandingo is. See? Why didn't you ask me?
It never came up in
I mean, if you
conversation.
would have asked Cliff or Dave, they probably would have looked at you funny, but I'd have been like, okay, so at a mandingo.
I wouldn't have even known to ask in the first place. I'd even heard the word before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, outside of like movie references
Now
and
you
shit.
know.
Yeah.
Man, I had a back in my heyday. I had a
Powerful erection?
Well,
Oh, I'm
that
sorry.
too. It got to this point, but I had this this older white woman who loved the movie Mandingo, and if
Did you live out that scene in Archer?
I did not, well, maybe I did, but I think I did, but she really, really loved this movie, and she kept like asking me about it, like, have you seen Mandingo? And I'm just like, no, I wasn't even born. Like, I've never seen Mandingo.
Just because I'm black doesn't mean
right.
I've seen this movie.
It's like that movie's like, what, 10 years older than me or some shit. So I'm like,
Just
no.
because I'm white doesn't mean I like Forrest Gump.
But yeah, it was it was weird. And then And then it wasn't. And that's
Wow.
all I'm gonna say about that. And
Well, we've already talked about my dick, your
you know,
dick. Ed's talked about, his beautiful Aryan children. We're just crossing all kinds of
we
lines.
are, and I'm putting a little bit of information out there, but yeah, I just could not believe that.
Was this older woman named Cassie?
No.
Oh no!
No.
That's an inside
You
joke
fucker.
for any friends or family that are listening to the show.
That's a deep cut right there.
Deep cut right there.
No.
We'll just leave that where it's sitting. It's just going to stay there.
Oh God.
She
Oh,
wasn't.
God.
Oh God. No, it was not.
Oh, my God.
We're just gonna keep it moving here.
Yeah, let's move along.
we have another-
Speaking of WrestleMania,
Yeah, what? We were talking
we
about.
were talking about the
At some
possibility
point.
of that match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
And I will say this is about as rumor as you can get, but I wanted to touch on it because I feel like we're probably going to have different points of view on this. Apparently before SummerSlam, a certain somebody was working out in the ring. And there's, once again, the rumor, because of this, that we might get one more match from The Undertaker. Ed, what are you thinking?
You know how much I love Taker.
You love you some Taker.
He put on amazing matches in his day.
One of, you can never say, talk about the greatest of all time and not mention.
Exactly. But his time has come and gone. Mm-hmm. The sun has set, and he needs to bow off the stage before he gets himself seriously injured. I mean, all through that match in WrestleMania, I was just praying that nothing broke.
Well, he had hip replacement surgery and things like that afterwards. Cena even made a crack at Taker kind of in his promo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a aging veteran with a bad hip.
Right.
Cliff, what do you think?
Sit down or lay down.
Well, I'm now going to say we're all in agreement on this. I feel like, as much as I don't want to see him go, because he's fucking Undertaker, there's only so many more times that you watch him and not, like you said, that whole time you're watching that Mania match, probably for the last couple of years, and you feel every bump he takes because you know what he's put himself through. You also know that a man his size, those poundings that he was taking as
Pause.
you get older are going to feel it. Thank you. Would you rather I say beatings?
No.
You'd rather I say poundings.
Yeah, so I can pause you.
Okay. All right. Those poundings he was taking. Pause. Are going to hurt a little bit more. You know, as you get older.
Takes a toll.
Yeah, you can't be 6'10" with too bad, replaced hips. He's also looking real old now.
You know what I want to see?
What?
If he wants to be on TV, he wants to still be a wrestling personality. Can we make him a manager?
Oh, you can't.
Can he bring out a stable of dudes where he's like just on the Titantron? I'm going to send out this motherfucker to wreck that guy. And it's like.
Will he use those exact words?
Not, well, of course not. But you know.
PG, guys. PG. Get that motherfucker.
Kill that motherfucker. Rest in peace.
But you know what I'm saying. Sort of like they were doing with the Ministry of Darkness, except him not wrestling anymore.
I would be okay with that. Give him a young stable of guys
No,
to put over.
I'm not okay with that.
Well,
He
we
would
don't give a shit.
totally overshadow.
Of course he would.
Anybody you put with him.
But this is what they do.
There
they
would
bring,
be no rub. It would just be Taker's
But
guys.
no, let him get his one shining moment. Let 4 guys come in from NXT. Like, let's say it could have been someone like The Ascension, right? Who has this, or Aleister Black at this point. He mentors Aleister Black, and then they don't have a match. Aleister Black just destroys him, and he's never seen or heard from again.
I don't like it.
I agree with Cliff.
Thank you, Ed.
I don't like it.
Thank you.
Because then you can use special effects to get rid of him. He doesn't have to do anything physical.
He had his one shining moment.
Which was
him walking away.
He had a million shining moments before that.
He really did.
Correct.
We thought his shining moment was every year the last 5 years.
No,
This
was it.
His second Shawn Michaels match was his moment. We thought his second Triple H match was his moment. We thought his last match.
But after any of those, did he leave his gear in the ring?
No, but we all figured it. We thought he was just going to come out and have the ceremony on Monday like Ric Flair did.
Oh, I didn't.
Right.
I absolutely did not.
Oh, you just knew he was going to leave his gloves in the ring, huh?
Yes. No. I mean, after you saw that, you were not going to see him again.
Yeah, and I'm okay.
Unless
I'm
he
okay
feels
if
like
he
it.
doesn't come back. It would be great, and it would keep the rub going for Roman, and he can continue to say, I retired The Undertaker. That would be great. But if he did decide to come back, I wouldn't want to see him wrestle. I would want to see him put over a young guy.
What if, and this is fantasy booking at its finest, ladies and gentlemen, you get a little bit of both, okay? Roman's still sticking with this, I'm the guy that retired The Undertaker. I'm the guy that retired The Undertaker. I'm the guy that retired The Undertaker. Bong.
Right.
He appears. He says something to the effect of, when I left my coat and hat and gloves in the ring, The Undertaker is dead. I am dead.
And he comes out as the American Badass again?
No. But
Please no.
I do have someone that will take up the mantle, so to speak. Not necessarily be The Undertaker, but the power of the darkness will, live on in my spirit and in the spirit of
Aleister
Black.
Aleister Black. Bray Wyatt.
Or Bray Wyatt.
Right.
Finn
Or
Balor.
Right.
Something like that. And they then
They wouldn't give it to Finn.
get the revenge on Roman for Taker.
Right.
I don't want to see Taker wrestle anymore. Not that I would not want to see it one more time because he is Undertaker, but because 53 years old, 2 replaced, hips, a shoulder that's hanging on by a thread.
Poor guy's broken, man.
Broken. Don't do it anymore. Okay? That's my thought, and I'm right. So fuck you guys.
Whatever. I mean, I would be okay with it. Like I said, if whether or not he wrestles or helps to put over some guy, I'm okay with that. Like, I would still love to see him in a ring. I would love to see his presence. So either one of those. I just don't want to see him wrestle. That's about it. I mean, shit. How old was Ric Flair? He was 78 when he wrestled his last
62?
match.
No, he's 63 now. Yeah, he was in his. Was he 58?
Yeah, he looked like he was 94.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Say 63.
he comes out
now,
with a
but-
suit, and I'm cool with that. Let him be Ric Flair. If Ric Flair can do that, Undertaker can, because I think Rick is the greatest of all time. And hey, if he can do it, Taker can do it. Come on back, mentor some young folks. Cliff was right. Cliff called it.
All right. Well, to step to our next question, this comes to us from our friends, the Cretans Guild.
We're going straight to questions?
Well, we're kind of free form today, fucker.
Jeez.
Really?
What do
We
you-
haven't even talked
what do you
about
got,
the
Cliff?
fucking shows.
We're not going to talk about the shows.
why the
This is
fuck
the show,
not?
fucker. Because we don't do that shit anymore.
Oh, well, we just did it last week, Rob.
Well, that was the last time.
Wow.
That's because
Get
we
with
were
the
talking about a
program.
pay-per-view.
we're talking about a pay-per-view.
Well, you know, if we
That's
had an outline, we would know these things.
I have an outline. Ed's looking at it right now.
He's got the
I'm
outline.
about tired of you
right.
motherfuckers having the outline, and I'm not seeing shit.
The only person that matters on this show has the
God
outline.
damn it. I fucking hate you.
And that's me.
Okay. Okay, little bitch.
The Cretans Guild. At the Cretans Guild. They probably feel bad right now because they just kind of started a fight. Like they're sitting at the dinner table.
No,
and
they're
Daddy
rooting
yells
for
at
it. They're like,
Mommy,
eat each other alive. Get them.
You know?
Yeah, they don't give a shit about us.
Although they did welcome Ed on their show at any time.
Well, look at that.
Yep.
Are you going to go?
Some people respect me. It's okay.
Guest starring Ed Roland. Going to talk about Cryptozoic Man or whatever they're going to do.
I do have an encyclopedic
No, the
knowledge
Cretans
of shit
Guild,
that never
good
existed.
guys. They follow us on Twitter. They interact with us a lot at Cretans Guild on Twitter. They had an interesting question that I thought we could talk about. Who needs who more? Enzo or 205 Live?
As of this very moment, 205 Live needs Enzo more.
Mm-hmm.
Because 205 Live is a fucking shell. Like, it's not fun to watch. And I just watched it yesterday. And I was like... Actually, no, I take that back. I watched it earlier today. Kind of, you know, in the background while I was at work. And,
Did you enjoy yourself?
I mean, not really. But it was a, you know, a fun segment. At least it has something to talk about on the show, as opposed to just talking about Tony Nese's 8th ab. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was cool.
Pop that A-Dab. Just get it out there.
In regards to your question, I would liken it to the analogy of who needs who more, the rat or the sinking ship. You know what I mean?
I could see that. I don't know. If you want to believe all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes with Enzo, it's all rumor. It's all, you know, speculation. The guy gets a reaction, so even if there's all this heat around him backstage, they're still going to push him. They're still going to whatever. His merch is selling.
Yeah.
But I agree that I feel like 205 needs Enzo more than Enzo needs 205. For the fact that, like you said, Cruiserweight division has not been lighting things on fire. The only Cruiserweight that matters for anything is Neville.
Yep.
Right.
Not to discount what he's doing, his heel turn and his work in the Cruiserweight division has been stellar. But it's been Challenger of the Month Club with 205 Live. Somebody steps up, they get knocked down by Neville. Let's build up the next guy. Knocked down by Neville. Austin Aries, Akira Tozawa. They just keep going. TJ.
Yep.
Now you've got Enzo. The problem is, though, is Enzo cannot work for shit.
So it's not even believable.
No. He fucked up his finish on Monday.
Yeah, and he pretty much fucked it up again on Tuesday.
You know? They gave him the eat defeat, that little, like, put the boot up on the jaw, hold the arm, fall to your back.
Right.
Looks like you jacked their jaw. He's fucked it up twice.
Yeah. Hopefully,
He's not
maybe with
a
him
worker.
with him working with these younger guys and these faster guys, that maybe he'll pick up some stuff. But I highly doubt it. Enzo's never been a really good worker, but
never.
you know, he's never had to actually go against guys his size. He's always had matches with bigger guys. And yeah, I don't even think he's ever really had to develop a type of cruiserweight style. Because, he, you know, when he was coming up, the cruiserweight division wasn't even a thing. So, but hopefully he gets better in the ring. I think, you know, personality-wise, he's still going to be one of the top guys on the mic. Maybe slow down a little bit. Or just learn when to shut up, like when enough's enough. But other than that, you know, I still think he's a a plus. I think he's a great addition to 205 Live, and I'm actually glad, and hopefully I just don't see him on Raw as much anymore. But even though cruiserweights are on Raw, so he's not going anywhere, but whatever. Moving on. Fuck Enzo.
Moving on, our friends at the Brocast, BROKAST on Twitter, PWO Australia, Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
Too sweet.
Brocast guys are awesome. They are great guys.
Hilarious.
They threw out to us today. They had that great ladder match question a few weeks ago. Today they want us to talk about, each of us to give our favorite face to heel turns and heel to face turns.
Ooh.
Clifford L., why don't you hit us with yours?
Well, this is probably going to be the consensus amongst most people in the world. But my favorite, and I feel like the greatest heel turn ever, is Hogan, NWO. Nobody who is iconic as Hogan in wrestling has ever done that.
Wait, you don't think when Austin joined McMahon that was...
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Right. His heel turn was not... No.
Okay. Just, I thought I'd throw it out there.
Not at all. It definitely wasn't as iconic as Hogan's. It was good, though. I mean, I liked it while it lasted. I also liked The Rock's heel turn when he came back from Hollywood. That would be...
Well, a complete revamp of the character came
exactly.
with it, too.
And that's what I loved about it. But, yeah, for me, my favorite heel turn, definitely Hogan, NWO. And
I still remember when that Bash of the Beach pay-per-view went off the air. Tony Schiavone's final words: Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell. And the pay-per-view ended.
It was amazing. And how old were we at the time? Fucking...
Oh, God.
14, 15?
Teens. Yeah, teens.
Yeah. It was just like... That's all we could talk about, and from then on, all I could work or write down was I had NWO fucking letters on every one of my folders in every class that I ever had. It was NWO everywhere.
Started a dynasty.
It did, fucking forever.
It fizzled out like a bad fire.
Nothing good lasts forever.
Right.
What was your favorite heel to face?
My favorite heel to face. There's been a bunch, of course. But my favorite heel to face turn is got to be CM Punk from the epic pipe bomb promo. You know, he...
See, now that one's interesting. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that one's interesting to me because technically he never changed his character.
He did,
right?
But
yeah,
that pipe bomb.
The fans changed it for him.
Changed it for him, exactly. He went from being he's a whiny, you know, basically he was like a whiny little bitch to holy shit, he's
right
for real. Punk was right. Shameless plug. Go get that CM Punk was right shirt.
It's a great shirt.
On stayred.com. A spreadshirt. Yeah. So that's mine. I mean, we were all, you know, after that promo, not just us as wrestling fans, but the entire world became CM Punk fans. I mean, it was everywhere. It's Twitter, ESPN,
Sports Illustrated,
it was everywhere.
USA Today.
Yeah, so that's my favorite. And I'm sure you guys will say something that will be like, ah, shit, damn, that's probably my favorite. But that was the first one that came to mind. So, Ed?
So my favorite face to heel turn, I was gonna say Chris Jericho, but I thought of one a couple minutes ago that I like better. It was Tommaso Ciampa's turn at NXT. Yeah, that was out of nowhere and really hit hard and well done. And
I think I might want to change mine.
Too late.
Damn it.
But yeah, I was going to do Jericho for both because he flip-flops so easily. Yeah. He goes from being a bad guy to a good guy.
What was your favorite heel to face then?
I
mean, you said Jericho, but when?
You wanted me to come up with specific instances?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to say when Rock turned face after being the corporate champion for so long.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really fun.
When the corporation turned on him, basically.
Yeah, basically. And he was tag teaming with Mankind for a little while. That was hilarious.
I can go with that.
Okay. I can dig that.
That was probably I wouldn't say the best, but one of the, of course, one of the most iconic heel turns, or face turns anyway.
Well, my heel to face turn also almost tied into what I was going to use as my face to heel turn because it happened in the same match.
Right.
But I have a different face to heel that I'm going to talk about in a second. But my favorite heel to face turn was Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 13, I Quit, or the submission match with Bret Hart.
Yep.
He was already kind of getting cheered, but he was still a heel. But again, like the Punk situation, at that point, the character never changed. Right. But when he was bleeding, and he got put in that sharpshooter, and he wouldn't give up, and he wouldn't give up, and he wouldn't give up, and that iconic shot of him lifting his head up into the camera and screaming, and the blood's just streaming down his face.
That they sold T-shirts of.
Right. I have that shirt. I still have that shirt. That Austin 316 with the blood on it.
Yeah.
And on the back, blood from a stone in his face.
Mm-hmm.
I still have that shirt. That turn, which obviously was the rocket for the whole Attitude Era at that point. They just strapped themselves to Stone Cold and,
ride him, cowboy.
Rode the lightning, baby. That's probably my favorite heel to face because it was subtle. The crowd turned him.
Mm-hmm.
Bret snapped after the match and kept going after him until Ken Shamrock pulled him off. But then after the match, as he came to, he wouldn't let anybody help him out. Stumbling like a man, he got up and he walked himself out hurt. That was it. That was the turn.
I almost thought that was going to be the same type of reaction for, which it almost was, for Braun Strowman after the ambulance thing.
It almost happened.
Yeah.
It almost happened. Leave me alone. As he walks away. My favorite face to heel turn, though, and I'm kind of shocked nobody else thought about this one. Fucking Shawn Michaels breaking up the Rockers and turning on Marty Jannetty.
I'd like to change mine again.
Just the way it happened. They were kind of at each other's throats for a little while in the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
And Marty and Shawn, they were like, are we going to make a run of this or are we going to go our separate ways? And at that time in WWF Magazine, there was the story, Are the Rockers Splitting Up? And it was this full-page photo on both pages. One page was Marty, the other was Shawn. And they shook hands, they hugged, they raised each other's hands, they were, cheering to the crowd kind of thing. Crowd's going nuts. And then Shawn super kicks the fuck out of Marty. He picks up the magazine. Or no, I'm sorry, I have it backwards. He grabs Marty by the hair and fucking throws him through the barbershop window. And at that moment, not only were you like, oh, why are you doing this, Shawn? But then he did that, which was something that was not really done in the WWF at that time.
True.
Threw him through the barbershop window, walks up, picks up that WWF magazine.
Rips it.
Rips it in half and holds up his picture and then just kind of walks away. And the Heartbreak Kid was born. That's probably my favorite heel turn because as a kid I was like,
Why, Sean? Why?
Why?
You used
Still
to be
affects
cool.
me to this day, but when I watch it, I'm like, God, that was brilliant. You know, just the way it happened. It was like the Ciampa
Yep.
Gargano
Yeah.
turn. It came out of nowhere. And you were like, when's the last time a heel turn actually did that to you? You almost always, whenever there's a heel turn, kind of expect it.
Right.
At that point, though, you were like, no. Sean, why?
Rockers forever.
Right.
I had my Rockers bandana, and I almost threw it in the trash.
You should have kept that bandana.
I have so much wrestling stuff as a kid that I'm like, why didn't I keep all this shit? All the moves and growing up, they all went somewhere.
I want to know where all your folders are. What's all
I
your...
still have 'em all.
Really?
Yeah, with all my results and stuff like that written in there. And my match ratings, thinking I'm Dave Meltzer.
Man. I used to,
Still have 'em
I used to
all.
live by that shit, bro.
Yeah. All right. So,
Speaking of shit you live by,
speaking of shit you live
Oh,
by,
Lord.
Clifford L. Time to make some shit work, son. I won last week,
You won.
and I got to pick the wrestlers that Cliff was going to have to try to bring into the modern era of WWE. The poll went up at that Robb guy, Robb with 2 B's on Twitter. The choices were Duke the Dumpster Droese, Rockabilly, and the Maestro. And after a week of votes, the winner was Duke the Dumpster Droese. Cliff is going to have to bring the wrestling garbage man into WWE. So I'm going to stop talking. Cliff, make
Make it work. All right. Since just because you thought I couldn't do it, I'm going to go ahead and bust your motherfucking ass right now.
Okay.
So, what you do, you take a young buck from NXT. He's got to be a big, big strapping gentleman. Let's say, well, I think you used the, what's the big, is he German?
Lars
Sullivan?
I don't think he's
Well, he's
German at all.
something.
I just think he's a odd-looking
he's
man.
a big odd-looking guy. So not him, but definitely a big guy. I'm trying to think of who else I can put in that because I immediately thought of him, but I was like, you already picked him, so I got to find somebody else.
you can use the same dude. It doesn't matter.
But anyway, you take a big guy, and you have on Raw, you have yourself an ongoing feud, much like you had with Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff when they had a dumpster match. Or was it the garbage match, whatever they called it. Basically, whenever they shoved, when he got fired and he put him in the fucking trash compactor. Right?
Garbage truck.
Yeah. So, you have a match like that. You have a feud that's brewing like that, and then you have a guy who's you just think he's a plant or an extra or whatever, and you have that guy he's a worker. He works for whoever that's, for the trash guy. Anyway, whoever has their match, somebody gets thrown into the thing. He's a fan of him, so he doesn't want to push the button. He doesn't want to do it. And he ends up getting beat up or punched out by whoever the heel is at the time. And then you have him end up helping the face put the other guy in the trash can. Then you have Raw or SmackDown the next week. The heel comes out, calls the guy out, you're supposed to do your job, blah, 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 blah. And then he ends up beating the crap out of the dude, throwing them in the back of a dumpster, this and that, da da da. So then it goes on to like it's supposed to be like a lawsuit. So that's the only reason why he keeps showing up on television every week, and he keeps getting his ass beat by whatever the heel was that he was having a match with. The crowd would start to get behind this guy, much like they did behind like, this would be that would be who I would put in there, a guy like Abyss, right? Have him doing like a Christopher Parks type of thing. You bring him in, have him go, for a couple of weeks. Maybe a pay-per-view or two goes by without him having any physical altercations, but every week the guy gets picked on and he's getting ready to start going. One day he raises his fist, but he doesn't hit him, and then he gets beat down. Blah blah blah. You keep building that, until one day the guy gets super pissed. He ends up putting a hurting on the heel, whoever it may be. Let's say it's Kevin Owens or some shit, because he seems like the type of guy that would pick on a trash man. And he ends up having a match, with Kevin Owens, and basically saying that, if he was able to beat Kevin Owens jokingly says something about, if you can beat me, you should work here, blah, blah, blah. And he ends up actually beating Kevin Owens, and you don't necessarily have to call him the dumpster, but the gimmick in itself was that the guy was a trash man. So you have this guy who comes from, humble beginnings and blah, 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 and he's a trash man, and he's just living the American dream, and he's always loved wrestling, and now he gets to live out his dream, and then he ends up beating Kevin Owens and having a full-time career or roster spot. And that, my friends, is how you would get over Duke the Dumpster Droese. What
Seems like Eugene with a job.
I was literally gonna say that.
Was it you?
Sounds like you just fucking went through the whole Eugene storyline, but substituted a garbage guy with Eugene.
Oh, well, maybe I did.
You know what?
I didn't think about that.
You know what I would have done?
But hey, I didn't remember that. But maybe that's where I got it from. It's a possibility.
Through
it's in my head.
inspiration.
We've watched a lot of wrestling, and I'm pretty sure
That's true.
I could have just spilled out the same shit. But that's how it would work.
Okay.
Thoughts?
You know how I would do it?
All right.
Is you make him like 911, and when the crowd starts to shit on a match, you hear the beep, 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 time to take out the trash.
Oh, wait, I swear I had that idea as well, but I was thinking that it could be like 3-minute warning, where that actually does happen, where he's just a big monster, and then somebody needs to get the trash taken out. That was actually my first thought.
Because you need a comedy gimmick every now and again.
Yeah.
Like, Boogeyman started out as they were trying to do something with him, and then he just became the guy that came out and spit worms on people.
True.
Right.
Yeah. No, that would work.
I mean, I think
I
Boogeyman
thought about
had
that
like
idea
5
too.
matches.
But then I was already like, well, they did that with 3-minute warning, so that's why I didn't say it.
Well, no, you can recycle ideas. They do it all the time.
True. I mean, technically, I just recycled Eugene, so.
Okay, you know what? I was going to say no, but because you came out and admitted, I just basically recycled
But
Eugene.
I didn't know that I
I'm gonna
did.
Give you, no, it doesn't matter. I'm going to give you a yes on it. Ed,
We'll give him the yay.
he's going to give him the yes.
Woo!
All right.
What
So
say
then
you,
that means-
listeners?
Yes, please.
Did it?
I
did
would
it work?
love to know what the listeners think of your Duke the Dumpster Droese, your wrestling garbage man. Please let us know.
I personally think it would be a meteoric rise to the United States Championship.
And make sure you at Cliff on that one, because I want him to get all of your yays and hopefully a lot of your nays.
At me so I know it's real, boo-boo.
So, because we gave 2 yays to Cliff on this one, he gets to pick the gimmicks
Ooh.
for Ed. Cliff, do you have any?
You got anything prepared?
want me to start?
Nah, I don't need you.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm just
'cause I
gonna
had a
go
list,
off
just in
of
case.
random jobber gimmicks that I can think of in my own brain.
Okay, so give us your first
My
one.
first one is gonna be the Portuguese Man o' War.
Oh,
You suck so bad, dude.
Aldo Montoya, the man with the yellow jockstrap on his face. Aldo Montoya. I'm not quite sure what Aldo Montoya was even gonna be.
He was the Portuguese Man o' War.
There you go. That's man.
That's a fucking jellyfish, dude.
That's so awesome. Oh, I'm loving that one already.
All right.
Cliff, what is number 2?
Number 2, Zach Gowen.
Does that count as a gimmick?
No, it's not really a gimmick.
It's not a gimmick, but it was his gimmick.
Oh my god!
I gotta make the one-legged man work.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean they
I
did it with a guy in TNA.
Oh my god!
I forgot his name, but he was the sergeant guy that lost his leg.
Chris
something.
Lieutenant
Menendez or Melendez or something like that, right?
Melendez.
Zach. So your gimmick is a man with a real disability.
Like, how do you get over a guy with one leg?
I mean, they
Actually,
kinda
I got something for that. I could do that right.
Okay,
now.
all right. So Zach Gowen is your number 2.
Yep.
Um,
And number 3.
number 3.
Did we use Bastion Booger already?
No.
we
Oh
didn't.
my God.
Bastion Booger.
Bastion Booger. Holy crap. The balding fat man with no teeth, horrible gray singlet with the straps that accentuated the fat rolls on his back to make him look like humps.
Yeah.
Shaved his eyebrows off. I believe he came to the ring to fart noises. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I mean, obviously, we're going to be playing his theme song right now under
Right.
this, but Bastion Booger.
Bastion Booger.
Oh man, Ed,
Good picks. Good picks, Cliff.
good picks.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
picks.
I should have said no.
So to recap, the Portuguese Man of War, Aldo Montoya, the one-legged phenom, Zach Gowen, and Bastion Booger are going to be going up on the poll. So if you would like
Like
to
a
vote
stripper.
on... Yeah, if you'd like to vote on Ed's punishment for next week to make it work, go to @thatRobbGuy, Rob with 2 B's. The poll will be pinned to the top of my Twitter feed there. Please vote. I will also be retweeting that throughout the week. If you'd like to support the show, follow us on Twitter @WNA Podcast. You can follow us each individually on Twitter. You just heard my Twitter feed @thatRobGuy. Follow Ed on Twitter @LegoMyEdro. Replace those O's with zeros, my friend. Hopefully one day he will change that fucking Twitter handle.
Why?
Why? He says. Follow Cliff on Twitter @Clifford_LELLE.
Like a female.
Like a lady.
You know what? I've accepted it now.
Like a lady. What's up, ladies? You like that? You like that?
You like that?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of ladies, I know we're wrapping shit up.
All
but,
up in it.
We didn't really get
Did
it.
you just say labia, Ed? What
Whoa.
did you just say?
I just said all up in it.
Oh, okay.
I know we're wrapping it up and everything, but we mentioned the Mae Young Classic earlier, and I watched it the first round, and it was pretty fucking good. There was a few matches where I was just like, meh, but I really liked what they're doing. I forgot the big German chick's name.
Oh, my girl Jazzy.
Jazzy
Gabbert. Okay, I got to point something out here. I have not been adding her on anything. I've just been talking up Jazzy Gabbert to people on Twitter. She's been all over our Twitter, liking all our tweets about her. So I don't
Really?
know if she's just vanity searching herself or what. But either way, I doubt she's listening, but in the event that
She
you
might
are,
be.
I love you, Jazzy.
Jazzy's awesome.
Keep it up. You're doing good.
Jazzy's awesome.
Yeah.
She is money,
She's money for sure.
that girl.
But the one that I'm loving right now, good old tall chocolate, Bianca Belair.
Oh, Bianca Belair, the est of NXT.
Man.
My favorite, I got two. I just watched Dakota Kai kicking the shit out of Kavita Debbie.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai is pretty awesome. But my favorite, aside from Jazzy Gabbert, I love me some Tony Storm. Or not Tony, Tony, yes. Tony Storm. Why am I wrong? Tony
I don't
Storm?
know.
I hope I'm not wrong and sound like an asshole.
You might be.
Cliff would know.
I might be. But no, that girl, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I love the gimmick. I love the look. I love her moveset. She's smacking people in the face with her ass.
Really? You've got my attention.
She's awesome. I love that. And as I said before, I'm a sucker for an accent. Give me a British or an Aussie accent at any time, and I will fall in love with you. Tony Storm. Anyways, that was interrupting our
Sorry.
exit segment here. So way to
My
go,
bad.
asshole.
Hey.
Don't follow.
Hey. Hey.
I'm waiting.
Hey.
You know, we were getting ready to end this show in record time.
Yeah, but I saw that and I was like, nah, I still think we need a couple more minutes.
We got to draw this
Because
shit
you
out.
did some old okey doke on me, and we didn't get a chance to talk about shit I wanted to talk about this week. So I got to get my shit in.
What was it you were expecting to talk
I
about?
mean, I expected to
The
talk
Mae
about
Young
the Mae
Classic,
Young
obviously.
Okay, so we got our Mae Young
We
Classic
just did
out of the way.
now, only because I mentioned it.
You know what? Anybody, if you are still listening, unfollow Clifford L.
No, they think I'm cool because they want to talk about the fucking Mae Young Classic too. That's what's happening in wrestling this week, Rob. They don't want to just answer questions about fucking old ass wrestlers that we don't give a shit about anymore.
So you want to do the same show that everybody and their fucking mother does?
Yes. Have you ever watched the news? It's the same on every channel. That's what makes it the news. Not reinventing the
Good
wheel
point.
here, buddy.
I didn't say that we're not going to do the news. That's what we did today.
Yeah.
But I don't feel the need to recap Raw and SmackDown just like
wasn't
everybody
talking
else
about
is fucking
recapping
doing.
it. We didn't have to recap it. I'm cool with that.
Ed's laughing because he's like, everybody's getting to hear the conversations
know.
that Rob and Cliff have on a
We
daily
started an
basis.
argument over the format of the show.
This is what we talk about before we go on the air, people.
When we get on the air, it's always like, hey
Hey,
guys,
guys,
hey,
everything's great.
All right.
You're my
You got a
best
joke,
friend.
Cliff? Go ahead
Best
and say
friend
your
since
joke.
14, huh?
Fucking dick.
Douchebag.
Can I end the fucking show
End
now?
it. Shit.
All right. Don't follow Clifford L at Clifford_LELLE like a bitch.
Aren't you the champion of women, Rob? I think
I am.
I think that you should not be calling young ladies the B word, sir.
Please follow me on Twitter at that Rob guy, Rob with 2 B's.
Double
I
bitch.
promise I'm going to try to start using it more. I'm trying to lately instead of just constantly tweeting from the WNA account.
Speaking for all of us.
Yeah, speaking
Right.
for everybody.
He always says I too, and I'm like, dude, it's not your account. It's the fucking
What's
show.
funny is in the beginning, I would always say we.
Right.
But then as time went on, I'm like, fuck we. It's too many characters. It's two.
just
I can
me.
just put I and be good.
I mean, all you have to do is put a little R at the end, and you can say I all you want.
Well, whatever. Anyways,
Bastard.
email the show with any topics or questions you have. WNApodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe on there. We're going to be putting our episodes up every week. Look for us on iTunes. No more SoundCloud.
Not
iTunes,
usually.
Podbean,
Yeah.
Stitcher, pretty much any of your podcatcher apps. You can find us on there.
Google Play.
Google Play. If you could, please go to iTunes. If you like the show, leave a review, please. It helps us out, puts our name out there to be seen a little bit more.
Hey, how about this?
Yeah?
The first person that hears this and rates us on iTunes, we'd prefer 5 stars, but if you don't, who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
But if you rate it, tweet it, screenshot it and retweet it, and I'll get you a shirt of your choosing from the Wrestling Nerds.
Woo!
That's a big prize, y'all. You don't even know.
That's actually a pretty big deal. I will wait until this episode drops, and I will also tweet that out.
Sweet.
I know we've got a few reviews from people already. They're going to go, what about me? Well, sorry.
Sorry.
Thanks for your loyalty. No shirt for you.
Ahead of time.
We appreciate you.
We need some more reviews on there. So
Yeah.
But most of all, if you enjoy the show, please subscribe. Tell a friend. Hopefully they will enjoy the show too. We're trying to build a little bit of a network here. Not just with us, but also with our friends in the podcast world order. Hashtag PWO.
PPPWO.
At Smart Spot, S Marks the Spot podcast. At Wretched Wrestle, the Wretched Wrestling podcast. At The Gimmick Table, or I believe they're just at Gimmick Table.
Yeah.
The Gimmick Table podcast. Raw is Boar, at Raw is Boar. The Brocast, at The Brocast. All members of our little
Click.
here. We all look out for each other. Leo from the S Marks the Spot podcast was supposed to come on tonight, but some shit came up. Maybe it was a powerful erection. I don't know. But either way, Leo's a good guy. We will have him on the show. We're already talking about jumping in on each other's stuff as we talked about before. We're going to do that more. But we are really trying to get our name out there, and we've grown every week. And it's all because of you guys that are listening.
Thank you so much.
We truly, truly appreciate it. And the more we grow, it makes us feel better because we know word of mouth is getting out there. So thank you sincerely. This was just kind of something we started doing to have an excuse to sit down and chat once a week, because as life goes on, you find less and less time to do that with your friends. And not only do I get to do it, but I get to put it on recording. So if somewhere down the line and we're all really, really too fucking old to do this, I can actually listen and go, me and my friends had some good times there.
We did.
Yeah. Now that I got all sappy and dramatic and was kissing everybody's ass,
Yeah.
I'm going to say...
I ate a kale salad for lunch today.
And you got a powerful erection, huh?
I'm going to have one later.
All right. Make sure you wake Crystal up.
Or not.
I was thinking, that is so wrong. So wrong. I was thinking waking her up with the thunk on the head.
Mic check.
Hey, Crystal.
Terrible. Babe, if you're
Feel that?
listening, you know why I did that.
You feel that?
It's a little bit on the nose.
What we gonna do about this?
And on that note, guys,
On that note, I think it's time to go home.
I'm Ed Rowland.
I'm Clifford L. Johnson.
And I am Robb English, saying to you, especially nowadays, when life hands you adversity, always kick out at 2.
Sweet.
Wow, you didn't even put any punch on that.
No.
You just-
Because you said something and it made me start thinking. And I was thinking about all the Houston people and how shitty it is
Yeah.
down there. And
No, all jokes aside,
yeah.
Our hearts go out.
our
to-
hearts go out to the families and people in Houston right now that have been suffering in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah, my niece is down there, and she said it's a fucking nightmare down there.
Yeah, my sister lives in Texas too. She does not live near Houston, but she's seen a lot of shit down there. So thoughts and prayers with everybody. Stay strong. Hopefully help is on the way, and if it's not, God damn it, the rest of us are going to pitch in and help.
Damn right.
If certain people aren't going to take care of that,
We'll
for
figure
you.
it out.
We'll
Pray
figure
for
it out.
Houston.
Pray for Houston. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
So let's talk about my small penis again. Oh, Cliff just texted. Gotta go pee-pee. Well, good. He doesn't have to worry about a small penis like I do.
I know. I have heard stories like you wouldn't believe.